The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, I'm Donta.
And hey, I'm Dana.
And welcome to the Donta Show.
What's up, Village? It's your boy Kwame, the man with the plan behind the stands. I'm going to go ahead and make this quick because some of y'all got mouths and be talking mess in the comments and saying that the intro commercial is too long. So, I got something for you. Here we go. Let's get into it. Before we bring out these awesome kings, I need you to stop what you're doing. Excuse me? Excuse me? Ma'am? Sir? You? Yeah, you! Whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, I need you to go ahead and share this live stream. Donta and Dana didn't get all dressed up for you not to share their melanated goodness, so share. You share everything else up in here. Share some quality content for your boys. Now that we mentioned YouTube, are you subscribed to the Donta Show's YouTube? Oh, you're not? Oh, girl. I'm gonna need y'all to get it together. Join the village. Go over to www.youtube.com/Donta Morrison. And when you get a chance, head over to Dr. Morrison's. That's right, your boy got his PhD. Head over to Dr. Donta Morrison's website, www.dontamorrison.com, where you can learn more about the man, the myth, the legend known as Donta. And while you're at it, grab some TDS merch and his books. Yes, purchase those smutty books filled with smut. Grab The End of the Rainbow and Yesterday Clarified. And last but not least, head over to the company that put this all together, Pyro Media Network. Pyro Media Network is a proactive network focused on providing an innovative space for content creators and entrepreneurs. PMN is dedicated to giving its viewers a diverse entertainment experience while helping content creators elevate their production, engagement, and overall branding. To date, PMN has reached over 1 million viewers and listeners internationally, produced over 52 successful shows with high ratings and fanfare, and has housed over 60 content creators, brands, and businesses through entertainment and consulting services exclusive to PMN. Pyro Media Network is a network that makes you feel at home. So if you have an idea for a show, podcast, or need some professional video and audio production for your business or brand, then join the Pyro family today. Go ahead and visit www.pyromedianetwork.com and we will show you how to go to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome my brothers from another mother, the dynamic duo, the melanated kings themselves, Donta and Dana. Let's get it. Let's go!
what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Donta Show. It is Tuesday night, and you know how we do every Tuesday. I am solo bolo, a man all by myself, because DNA has class. And since we're always about education and making sure that we are living our best lives, I support my homeboy as he goes out there and gets his education, gets his learn on. But don't worry, tonight is still going to be a phenomenal night because I am actually Dante of the Donta Show. So go figure that. So as you all log in and get up in here, please come in with your libations, come in with your snacks, come in with your treats, come in with whatever you need at 8 o'clock at night or 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night to get through this next 45 minutes to an hour discussion with me and my special guest, Sheryl Bailey. I'm excited to have Sheryl on the show on tonight because we are going to do some time machine trivia and really talk about what would be different if things had been different. So I see you up in here. I see my auntie Weezy. What's good? I see my cousin Keisha up in here. So y'all go ahead and just start sharing, and sharing again. Everybody share. Right now, if you are watching, share tonight's show. And if you have not subscribed to the Donta Show on YouTube, please go to youtube.com/Donta Morrison, youtube.com/Donta Morrison, and subscribe to my YouTube page and help us get these likes on up. Paul, what's good, fam? Paul, I got to get you on the show one time to talk about what you do in the community because you do a lot of great things, man. And I think that someone like you needs the visibility because what you do and what you pour back into the community, we need to make sure that's highlighted and get you some extra support, bro. You out there feeding folks and you doing community gardens and making sure the homeless people got stuff to eat. That should not be overlooked. I got to get you up on here and talk about that. So let me know when you are ready. You ain't got to do a whole hour. It can be a quick little commercial. Tell me what you do and how we can support you in your endeavors. What's up, Williams twins? Bam, bam. Happy birthday. It's somebody's birthday up in that house, Williams twins. I don't know if it's you, the father, the kid. It's somebody in the house birthday, so happy birthday. And of course, my frat, Joe McClain. Joe, you going to Vegas with us? So let me know. So yeah, that's between you and me. But we're doing this Vegas run around about June. Let me know, frat. Let me know. Because I'm down. I got the coin. I'm ready. Let's hit up a buffet or two. All right. So got that out the way. So listen, before I start the show, I want to do some quick announcements, some quick plugs, some quick begs to get y'all support. So as you know, in May, what's the date? May 27, from May 27 to 6/7, I will be in Ghana. I and some of my family, my friends, we're all going to Ghana for my post-graduation getaway. I actually walked the stage on May 21st in recognition of getting my PhD. And then the week after, I'm going to Ghana for a 10-day excursion. And while I'm in Ghana, I'm going to be we're going to be touring Ghana, of course, seeing all the sights and beauty of the motherland. But we're going to do some missionary work in the village of Kumasi. And in Kumasi, the kids there that are going to school, they don't really have adequate school supplies and they don't have desks. So they're sitting on like concrete slabs or sitting on the floor as they learn. Now, I don't know how your school experience was and what you went through. You might have went to PS 22, which was super ghetto, super hood, but you still had a desk and a seat and whatnot. So to help these kids really just have some desks. And if you purchase a desk, you buy a desk, you will get your name on the desk, or you get your name on the desk. And then also I'm getting hygiene supplies. Now I'm sharing all this stuff on Facebook, on Instagram, my stories and reels and all that. But it's really funny how folks swipe past, and they land on the stuff that is of no value. It can be of no benefit to their lives whatsoever. And they keep cackling and hee-hawing and meemawing and sharing and whatnot. You ask about, hey, can we get back to the motherland, black people? We so black, right? Let's make sure that our family got what they need. And folks are like, oh, I didn't see it. You didn't see it, but you see everything else stupid that I post. But whatever the case may be. So let's dive into this. I'm going to go ahead and share the link. So it's Dante's Ghana Getaway. 24 movers and shakers, 3 missions, desk, school supplies, and hygiene products. And let me tell you why I'm so passionate about making sure they have these hygiene products, because the part that we learned, so we have a tour guide, we have a person here in the States that's organizing the entire trip. And she met with all of us, and she said that the girls down there, when they start their cycle, when they start their cycle, a lot of times they don't have proper feminine hygiene products. And if they want to get feminine hygiene products, they have to do certain things with the men or the guards or the security or law enforcement to get pads or tampons. So imagine now, this may sound like what? Your daughter has started her cycle. And the only way she can get the proper hygiene products is to do unseemly things with some old ass man. Did that trigger you? Did that make you say, well, that's not right? So as you can go on down to Food for Less or Ralph's or Rite Aid or hell, even the liquor store, to get your carefree pads or get your wings and get all that kind of stuff, you can do that easily. Now, fellas, you may be a little embarrassed to be going to get it, but you can do that easily. But down there in Kumasi, this just part of Ghana, they don't have that same luxury. So that's why I'm trying to raise money to make sure that I can buy enough of these hygiene products to at least get the young girls through a season. So your $10, your latte for the day can at least buy a box of pads so a young girl will not have to be humiliated by something natural. Also, to get them toothbrushes and toothpaste and toilet tissue, stuff we take for granted over here. So I'm not doing the GoFundMe so that I can have money to go to Ghana. My trip is paid for. I'm good. God, thank you. I'm good. Financially, I'm good. I'm Gucci. But I'm trying to do my part to make sure that our motherland, the place we call home, the place where all of us say, I want to go back home and get me back home. Well, home needs our help. At least this part of Ghana needs our help. So if you can, ma'am, sir, please go to my GoFundMe, click my GoFundMe, and just click on it and just donate. My goal was $5,000. I launched it 2 months ago. $5,000. We're almost at 3,000. If I can get to 3,000, I'm happy. I'm like, thank y'all. I appreciate it because this money will be withdrawn and given so that they can start building the desk. So now, the GoFundMe is going to end this Sunday because I have to get the money to Africa. Now, why I got to get it so early? I'm not going until May because to build the desk, they don't have Home Depot. They don't have Lowe's. They don't have Builders Emporium. They don't have all the other stores that we have out here. They don't have AWAT's lumber or whatnot. They got to literally go and cut down these trees. They got to cut the trees down and then let the trees prepare or whatever they call it. I forgot what they call it. And then they start shaping the trees into a desk. So it is a timely process, and they want to make sure that the desks are there when we arrive. So if I wait until we take off, we won't see the desk with our names on it. So if you would like to have a desk with your name on it and all that, do your part. Do your part. Do your part. Do your part. It's not a lot. Thanks for those who have donated. For those who have donated already, I truly appreciate it. For those who have not but want to, you have until Sunday. All right. Now, if you don't want to donate money, don't want to give money and all that, I am also taking physical collections. I had somebody that I have never met. He saw me post this on social media, and he sent me through Amazon. He sent me 4 big boxes of hygiene products for the girls. I opened the boxes, and all in these boxes was nothing but carefree pads and Tampax and all that kind of stuff. He went on Amazon, bought it in bulk, and had it mailed to me. It's always a way to help somebody in need, right, Paul? Come on, Paul. It's always a way to help somebody in need. So as you are sitting there in your privilege, even right now, watching the Donta show, there is somebody that does not have the same luxuries that we have. If you've ever gone outside of the United States and gone to a poor, and I mean poor country, you will know what I'm talking about. All right. So I got that out the way, and I really appreciate you. I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for giving. Thank you for taking time to hear my little spiel about Africa and Ghana and my trip and the desire to have you donate as much as possible so I can bless the children in Kumasi with the things that they need to make it through the day. I appreciate it. All right. So next up, for those that may not know this, I am a cornucopia of talent. So outside of doing the Donta show, I also act and I sing. I've not tackled dance yet, probably a little bit too old, but I've not tackled dance, but I act and I sing. And coming in the month of May, like literally a week before I graduate, I am in a play. All right. So if you are in the Los Angeles, Long Beach, Pasadena area, and you want to stop on by my church, you can come on to my church and see me in the play Truth, Lies, and Hidden Agendas. You see me in the middle. You see that bruh in the middle. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all are not ready. I'm telling you, y'all not ready for this. You know, your boy is in a play, and your boy is gonna make it happen. So this play was written and produced and directed by Danica Clark. And Danica Clark is a phenomenal playwright. I've done another one of her plays where I played this character and I got to sing and all kind of stuff. And this play, I'm not singing, but I'm playing that dude. I'm playing that dude. You know what? I'm playing Joe McClane. If you know Joe, you know what I'm talking about. But I am playing a character that is nothing like me. It is the polar opposite of who I am. I'm playing an in with an A type dude that is grimy, shady, gutter, and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to it. So if you are not busy, Kwame, can you put it one more time? One more time. If you are free on Saturday, May 14th at 7 p.m. or Sunday, May 15th at 5 p.m., come on down to Church One Ministries in Long Beach, 700 East 70th Street, Long Beach, California. Come on down. Tickets are on sale now. If you would like tickets, you can either reach out to me or you can reach out to Danica Clark. I tagged her in the comment section. The cast, the whole cast is fire. The cast is going to be amazing. The play is going to be amazing. I look forward to seeing you there. If you want tickets, just go ahead and inbox me, get them a DMs, and I will let you know how much tickets cost, and I will make arrangements to get a ticket to you. All right. Boom, that was that. Man, I talked a long time, huh? So now it is time to get into tonight's conversation. Like I said, I got a special guest. Sheryl Bailey is back on the Donta Show. If y'all know Sheryl Bailey. Sheryl Bailey is a lawyer, and Sheryl Bailey keeps it real. She keeps it 100. She keeps it raw. She digs deep. Sheryl is bliggity black, all about black people, black love, black power, black influence, black entrepreneurs, black money, black dollar, black village, black community, just black, 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 black. And I love having Sheryl as a guest because together we make for a phenomenal conversation. So without further ado, Village, please welcome back to the Donta Show, my sister friend, Sheryl Bailey.
Hey everyone, how are you doing? I did not know we could bring libations. You didn't say anything about that.
100%.
I would have had some libations on deck.
Listen, I think the last time we really had libations on the show is when we had Jamie was on here, and she's a bartender, and Jamie did an in-house set. She did an in-house when I used to have guests come to my house and we would do it live. Jamie came here and set up her bar behind me and Dana and had us sampling her drinks. When I tell you 45 minutes in, I was trying to keep it together. And I was getting so embarrassed because I was slurring words. And I was just like, welcome to the Donta Show. This gone.
Everything got lit. People kept it real.
It was different. It was different. How are you doing?
I am doing good, working, trying to make sure I maintain my self-care, maintain my mental health, do the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves while keeping the pressure on these judges and the prosecutors and making sure we try to keep our people out of jail. So, just got to take it one day at a time. How about you, Donta?
You know what? I am doing good. I'm doing good. Trying to keep folks educated and enlightened as best as I possibly can. So y'all notice I have never put my title on the Donta Show. I never put PhD on here because I'm still getting used to actually being a doctor, and I'm still getting used to having that behind my name. But when I walked in, Sheryl was in the green room, and it was Sheryl Bailey Esquire. And I said, "Oh, we dropping labels?" I can match energy. Let's do it.
Sometimes you got to let people know. Some people think you're just talking out the side of your neck.
They think you basic.
Yes.
And I got
to let them know where this conversation is coming from.
Yeah. Mine ain't honorary. Mine wasn't handed down. I worked for that one right there. Listen, your boy put in work.
Okay.
So tonight, Kwame has a part 2 of kind of how he did the show last night. So he came up with all these questions, and I guess you and I are going to just dissect along with the village. Again, if you are just joining the Dante Show, never watched the Dante Show, please make sure to subscribe to the Dante Show on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/Dante Morrison. Click that subscribe button and be a part of the village. We keep it 100, we keep it real, and this is a space where you can feel safe. You can share your opinion, you can share your thought. No one has ever attacked nobody in the comment sections. I love the village because we have great conversation. I see my cousin Lawana, Bliggity Black. What's up, Wana? She up in there. All right, Kwame, we are in your hands. Let's go. Here we go, Cheryl. Here we go. You know, we don't hold back. What if Tupac was never shot? Wow.
Well, I don't think people are gonna like me after this, because I got conspiracy theories.
Well, I think if Tupac was never shot, Suge Knight would not be in jail right now.
I think if Tupac was never shot, Jay-Z would not be where he is right now. I think the only reason Jay-Z got to be at the top of the game like that is because the competition got wiped out too soon. Because in the era of 96, it was all about Biggie, Pac, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Nas. It was so many other people. I mean, Jay-Z was there, but he wasn't there. It wasn't until that competition got wiped out, tragically, that he was able to shine. And I also think the conversation and the way hip hop evolved would be totally different, because you would have somebody who was so politically, of course he had his flaws, but he was so politically in depth that the conversation would have had to change. A lot of people would have had to step up their game lyrically a lot more in order to maintain in that composition. And also Biggie wouldn't have died, which would have just changed the whole game. We would be in a totally different game right now.
But you think Tupac would still be in hip hop, or he'd be an actor?
No, he'd still be in hip hop. His mouth is too big. He got something to say. When he died, he had over 100 songs.
True.
More than over 100 songs that he had prepared. And they said, because I remember I met his godfather, Geronimo Gijaga, and I met a lot of people from, I forgot the name of the group. It just went out of my mind. But when we had a conference in Oakland right after he died, it was the first Tupac Shakur conference. A lot of those people came in the Black Panther Party, and he had so much music built up. And he was just getting started. I think he would of course continue in acting, but his talent was hip hop.
Now Joe is pushing back. Joe said Jigga dropped Reasonable Doubt before Pac died, and it was a bona fide classic. Reasonable Doubt still gets played in my car. It depends on my mood, if I'm on my way to church or not. Reasonable Doubt was fire, but I guess you're saying Jay-Z wouldn't have continued if Tupac was here.
No, it's not even. What I'm saying is that the level that Jay-Z is tight. I'm not saying that Jay-Z is not tight. What I'm saying is that the level that he reached would not have been able to be reached if Tupac, and by my estimation, if Tupac was here, Biggie would have been here, because if things wouldn't have escalated that much.
Okay.
And so with that competition, I don't think it would have there wouldn't have been the room for Jay-Z to get that big. That's all I'm saying.
But now here's my thing with Tupac. And I listen, I'm West Coast, Tupac. I love Tupac. I'm really Biggie at the core, but I love Tupac because I think Tupac had a very solid message. However, Tupac needed guidance. I think Tupac needed a real mentor. Tupac was all over the place when he got out of jail. I think he lost his focus. I don't think he lost his drive, but I think he was driven by a different kind of emotion than when he first came out. I think he went to jail and something happened, and when he came out, I think he was on this retaliation type vibe. Like he had something to prove when he didn't. Tupac had nothing to prove. Tupac was a phenomenal lyricist. Tupac was a bona fide poet, but he was trying to prove something to the streets that I don't think he had to, and it kind of messed up his mind. That's just me. Now I never met the brother, but I think that he lacked mentorship.
I think, like all genius, there's always an element of crazy, and especially somebody who was so passionate. And you also got to understand that Afeni Shakur was, when she gave birth to Tupac, not only was she addicted to drugs and highly involved in this, like, people don't really understand the depth in which the community in which Tupac was grown into. Like the affiliation with the Black Panthers, who Afeni Shakur really was. Like, people don't really understand her life. They don't understand that he was essentially a baby born into addiction. And those things have triggers and chemical, things in your brain. So I do understand, and the way he portrayed himself in the media, he also had just as many interviews at the same time he was being crazy, of him being making so much sense at the exact same time. So I do understand that. And it's hard to guide somebody that's in so much pain. And I think because he never got a chance to get out of his 20s, when your brain really has a chance to fully develop and to deal with those things, and especially in the 90s where toxic masculinity was rampant, everybody was pulling out their dick and spraying it all over everybody. And that's how things got to the point where it got. So he wasn't the only one acting a fool. He's just the loudest one acting a fool.
Because
Death Row gave him the position. That being in that environment was the worst thing for him. I mean, we got some really good music from it.
We did, but
it was the worst thing for him.
He wasn't even a gangster growing up. I mean, I think about Tupac. I'm like, dude, you was Digital Underground. You was a dancer. You was a this. You was a that. When did you become this banger? When did you become?
Yeah, but I don't think he ever was a banger. When you listen to Tupac, and what he defined as thugness has nothing to do with gangsterness.
Right, because the acronym stands for something. I forgot what the acronym stands for. Thug. It was an acronym. It wasn't how we say thug.
Yeah, no, and it was also, what he was trying to convey, like even in his music, that's why it was so complex. What he was trying to convey was the voice of a people. And the voice of the people, because of the oppression, was angry a lot of times. Right. So even in his music, it was very much a balance. I don't think he was that skewed in his music. There was a lot of party music and a lot of, here's the frustration of the community, and none of it banged. None of it was banging. The only banging element of Tupac was the people around him.
Right. Which so guilty by association.
Yeah. So his words weren't banging. If you listen to his albums, nothing about it is banging.
Yeah, he didn't bang on wax, but
most of his political. The most banging thing was Hit 'Em Up. And he wasn't even banging. He was just like, fuck you guys. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I forgot where I was.
No, you're fine. It's out there. You're fine.
Yes. So I think we have to watch our language here. But if Tupac hadn't died, I would have loved to see the evolvement of his maturity.
Or he could have been a Kanye.
He could have.
Because Kanye's brilliant.
He is.
He's a musical genius.
And it's funny because they had the same kind of upbringing as far as education.
Right.
Except for Tupac's, condition, I think, was a little bit more traumatic. And,
his entrance to the world was far more traumatic. But I mean, Kanye, if we look at Kanye in his 20s versus Kanye now, it's like, dude, okay. But not saying that Tupac and Kanye are the same or whatever. But
Kanye's trauma happened later, though. You got to think when Kanye's trauma happened.
Right.
Kanye's trauma happened at a pivotal time when he was going in between being a young man to being a man. That's when his trauma happened.
Right.
Whereas Tupac had continuous trauma to the point where without therapy, and his music was also therapy. So it just depends. If the real question is, if Tupac was alive, how long do you think he would have stayed at death row? Because the only reason why I think death row started to decline was because Tupac died and people were like, oh,
my
this is
God.
crazy. Yeah,
100%.
let's all get out. And everybody jumped
Yeah.
ship.
100%.
So, yeah. So if Tupac stayed alive, how long do we think the entity that is death row would have survived? Because I think that was the biggest, worst influence. But Tupac is also very smart. And Suge Knight was probably stealing everybody's money, which I'm pretty sure he was. And because of Tupac's mouth, that would have ended on a bad note anyway. And most people would tell you, because I remember at the conference, that's one thing they were saying is that he was already sick and tired of death row.
Right. And then Kwame, just to clarify, Afeni died after her son. So so Kanye sadly, unfortunately, buried his mother, but
Yes.
Tupac's mother was alive. She buried him. So I mean, great question. Where would we be, or how would it be? Phenomenal question. And the part about this that I love the most, Tupac, the whole Tupac era was before social media. So Tupac skyrocketed the way he did and had all that influence without social media. Tupac was a game changer. Biggie was a game changer without social media. And that just shows how powerful their voices were. Imagine if they would have come out with social media. I don't know, because everybody on social media got an album. Everybody got an EP on social media. But I'm just saying, they were influencers without social media. So that just speaks volumes to that. All right, Kwame, what's next? What you got next? We did that one for like 10 minutes. So I hope you only got like 2 more questions. Sure to talk. What if MLK wasn't assassinated? Well,
okay. So the funny thing is, I remember that the Boondocks did an episode on this, which I find completely and totally hilarious, and I will not ruin it for everybody.
The Boondocks.
I think they should go watch it because I think it's hilarious.
Gangsta delicious. I love the Boondocks.
This question is a hard question for me because sometimes I feel like the realization of Martin Luther King's dream has become sometimes the death of Black America's dream. Segregation as some integration has really has been both a detriment and a benefit.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people don't want to hear that, but we lost a lot of things with integration, like our own businesses, our own schools, our ability to teach each other, our own banks, all that type of stuff. I think if Martin Luther King was not assassinated, I don't think we would have a lot of the things that we have now. I think that people would not have gotten as angry and demanded as much change as they did once he was assassinated. I think it also woke up a lot of people, Black people. When I say people in this context, I'm talking about us. I think it also woke up a lot of Black people that nonviolence in the way that Martin Luther King was going through. I think a lot of Black people felt like we came to the realization that that's not going to work. So I think if he wasn't assassinated, it would not have brought the catalyst of change the way it did.
And I like how you brought in integration, because I think a lot of Black people, they don't even understand how integration divided us. We were so dead set trying to integrate into this system that did not like us. It caused us to lose focus on who we really are, and that we don't need the kind of help. My thing was, I'd rather y'all just leave us alone, let us do us, and then watch what happens. But
and the thing is, Plessy v. Ferguson, which is the Supreme Court case that allowed separation in the first place, the separate but equal doctrine, I understand why integration had to happen, because we did not have,
leave us be. I don't. Yeah. Leave us be. Leave us be.
We didn't have access to the same resources. So the only way we were going to get access to those resources were to have laws that, did not, discriminate against us. So we had to have integration. The problem is that I think Black people were too excited about integration and thought that was going to be the fix for everything. and that we immediately began to leave our communities for greener pastures, and in some cases forcibly, taking our kids to schools that didn't want us. And therefore, since we were integrated, they stopped funding Black schools in Black areas, while still systematically keeping us out of those same areas.
Right.
So and the thing is that we are not integrated. We're just pretend to be integrated.
Right.
We can be in the same places, but we're not in the same neighborhoods. We're not in the same churches. We're not in the same, the only thing that's integrated into society is our money. Joe
just said it. It's our money. You got our money, but you don't want us.
Exactly.
And I think that is the biggest obstacle. That is the biggest hurdle that a lot of Blacks are not fully understanding. It's like we fighting for all this integration, equal. We're never going to be equal. Just point blank. That's never going to happen. But as long as we're pouring our dollar into a system that doesn't want us, of course they're not going to kick us out. But if we would figure out a way to silo our existence and pour all of that money into our own, imagine what kind of community we would have. Imagine what kind of strength we would have. Imagine how envied we would be.
So envy that they burn us down.
They will burn us down.
Continuously do.
It happened before, but to be honest, Sheryl, sadly, most people don't even know about Black Wall Street. Most.
Yeah, and I mean, now that we have more Black directors, they're bringing it up consciously. What people don't know is that now they know about Tulsa and they know about Black Wall Street. They just don't know about the 9 other ones that happened the same year. So
same year.
Yeah. So I think it's really a matter of educating ourselves. And I think the other thing I think that we'd have to also come to grips with, if that Martin Luther King or even Malcolm X, if they were still alive, at some point they would outweigh their welcome, like all leaders do. And we would find them irrelevant, and they would be, like all older leaders do, get stuck in their position. Not be able to change as the new people come in. Like when Black Lives Matter come in, it's like, oh, you're not doing it right. It's like, no, they have to do it their way. They know what it takes for this generation.
Right.
And so, I mean, I never want to, have anybody be assassinated, but we do know that everything happens for a reason and a season, and whether it's right or wrong.
The thing about that also most people fail to understand is that Martin Luther King was only a leader in the South, because the West Coast, the struggle wasn't like it was down South. So it was a whole different vantage point if you're in the West or away from those Southern states where segregation was just, right there in your face. So Martin Luther King, he was influential, yes, of course, but in those areas that was hardest hit by segregation. Similar to now, when things happen anywhere else outside of California, we'll sit back and be like, oh my God, that is so sad. They still living like that down there. Wow, that is horrific. Because it's not affecting us, or we don't see it on the level. Now, we all know there are racists in California. There are racists in LA. There are
racists on your street.
There are, right. So racism is everywhere, but the way that it rears its head is different. So leaders down South, their approach to combating racism is totally different than leaders in areas where it's not as prevalent.
Yeah. And we also got to understand that most Black people didn't like Martin Luther King either.
Period. And if we say that, what y'all talking about? A lot of Blacks could not stand Martin Luther King.
Look, this is the thing about leadership, and this is what people don't understand. Leadership, you're a leader for a reason, because 90% of the people are followers. And followers don't like leaders, because only 10% of the people are going to do the work. Mm-hmm. We don't have civil rights because 90% of the people was out there fighting for civil rights. Mm-hmm. We have civil rights and voting rights and all these other things because of the 10% who went out there to fight for them. And the other 90% was too scared to do anything. Same thing with slavery.
Right.
Harriet Tubman had to point guns at people to get them to move their ass on.
Right.
So we have to understand that the people who are usually fighting for our rights are not the people who are liked. And after they're killed, that's when we get the reverence. That's when we start giving people their flowers. Exactly. So we wouldn't know who Martin Luther King was if he was still alive.
Period. All right, so we got that one. Kwame, commercial. Let's do a quick commercial, Kwame. Y'all listen. If you've not donated to the GoFundMe, there is still time. My GoFundMe is at the matter of fact, while the commercial's playing, I'm putting this GoFundMe up in there, and y'all got 60 seconds to pull out your American Express card and drop a coin or two in my GoFundMe. All right, and we'll come back and we're gonna do some more questions with the phenomenal Sheryl Bailey. It is time for commercial. And we are back for this phenomenal conversation between myself and the phenomenal Sheryl Bailey Esquire. We have been talking about what would life be. Our first question was, how would things be if Tupac had not died? And the second one was, how would it be if MLK had not died? And it calls for a great exchange in the thread. Thank y'all, Village, for just chiming in and just joining us. We got about 15 minutes left in tonight's show, and I'm sure Kwame has some more questions for us to unpack. So, Kwame, we are in your hands. Let's go. What if Obama never became president? Then Kamala would be the first black.
Oh, if President Obama never became president, I don't think that the level and fieriness of the racism that we're seeing now would be that bad. I think when he became president, it triggered something in white people that they have not been able to get over. And it led to the Trumpism era and the Tea Party. So I think if he wasn't president, I don't think Donald Trump would have had the opportunity to become president.
So you think Donald Trump, basically his win was a retaliation for allowing this black man in the White House?
Absolutely.
So Joe,
because the white people would have never allowed it otherwise.
Okay.
But you had to have something. Yeah. So it was a perfect storm of situations. You had the not the creation, but the expansion of social media during that time. Barack Obama was the first president to have a social media account. You had this whole declaration that we're in a post racial America on the night of his inauguration. And while there were rampant racist attacks on his character, and during that time, the literal Republican Party, there was a subset called the Tea Party that was created during his presidency. And that Tea Party, their organization is what directly led to Trump's presidency. That is his base. And it's based on the fear of white people that they're losing something. When the reality is the only thing they're losing is their money to rich white people.
Okay. All right. Okay. I see where you're going with it.
That's where I'm going.
I see where you're going. I see where you're going. And then so Lawana said, Kamala, is it Kamala or Kamala? I never know. Is it Madam Vice President would never be vice president if Obama wasn't president. What do you think about that?
I agree with that. The only reason why Joe Biden had to choose Kamala as vice president is as an anti-racism move to say, look, we had such problems, all these racist problems. The Black women are the ones that are voting and organizing to get, the Democrats where they are. We need to have a Black woman. Please.
It was all politics and strategy.
It's all politics and strategy.
Now, do you think anything changed for Black folks because Obama was president?
No.
Okay. Just want to see where you was at.
No, I mean, and it's not a bad thing about President Obama.
Right.
We have to stop pretending like the system is not the system.
Right.
The system is a white supremacist system made and created for white people. It doesn't matter who the figurehead is. The issue is the system. So yes, he made great speeches, and yes, he tried to do whatever he can do, but he is limited to the system in which he is in. If I was the president, I can't go and just let all the people out of jail. I can't do the things that I want to do because it's in this system. And so I think that the conversation that we have as Black people is sometimes self-defeatist. It's like, yes, we can have excellence and we can rise, and it's still an accomplishment. But we have to understand that it's not the person that we're fighting against, it is the system. And if we don't identify it as the system, we will continue to fight against these dumb people. Not saying that Barack Obama is dumb. I like the man, but he's still part of the system.
He's part of the system.
Just like I'm part of the system working in the public defender's office. I don't want to be part of the system, and I fight the system every single day, but this system has been around and designed to keep Black and brown people in jail. Right. So yes, I can get a couple of Black and brown people out of the jail, but at the same time, that's still my job in the system.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think the whole system, I mean, we can celebrate all day because a Black person became president, a Black person
or vice president,
and we can throw the parties and barbecues and what have you. But at the end of the day, it's still a white supremacist system. The system is based on white supremacy. I mean, at the core of the American government system is white supremacy. That is the foundation. That is the founding fathers. That is all of that. But no one wants to admit that and say that because, like, oh my God, you're calling us all racist. I didn't call you all racist. I didn't say anything about racism. I said there is a white supremacist construct that supports and sustains the government. White supremacy,
And that's why there's this attack on quote unquote critical race theory that even when we're trying to, put a Black woman on the Supreme Court, they're questioning her about this theory. They don't even know what the theory is, by the way. And because they don't want to have the conversation that says the only way that America became a rich country is by killing the indigenous people on the ground, kidnapping Africans and enslaving them, raping them, torturing them, taking all of their resources and ideas because they could not survive on this in America without those ideas
those people,
from both the indigenous people and the enslaved Africans.
Right.
And say that this is the only way we survived as a country. That's the only way that this system of democracy worked because we had to do all of these things.
Right.
And we had to continue to do it so that we can keep our money in our pocket.
And one thing I want them to stop saying or teaching, and parents, please, tell your kids this. Tell your kids this. Whites brought Africans from Africa. They didn't bring slaves from Africa. Be clear. They brought Africans from Africa and enslaved them in America. Okay, so don't act like white folks got on this boat, went to Africa, and went to the slave store and bought a bunch of slaves over in Africa and brought them back here because they were already slaves. So what are we doing wrong? No, you got free, liberated, walking amongst their own people's selves from Africa. You got them from their villages. You got them from doing whatever they were doing, and you enslaved them, brought them to America, and put them on plantations to do the work. Period.
And it's even, and I think you have to go even further than that. Instead of just saying brought Africans from, they brought mothers, they brought fathers, they brought sons, they brought doctors, they brought scientists, they brought farmers. That's the only reason why they can farm.
That's it.
They brought, medicine people. They brought all spiritual people. They brought every type of person.
Yeah.
From Africa. Yeah. To help them survive in America.
And the
reason you have rice in America is because somebody brought it from Africa. The reason why the cotton grew is because the person from Africa knew how to grow it. They didn't just magically know these skills. It's because it was something that was taught. Right. They were artisans. They were crafters. They were creators. They were storytellers. These were human beings who had the full talent of God that was snatched up and kidnapped.
Period. And
then we say Thomas Jefferson made all these inventions. How do you know it wasn't his slaves?
And like you said, Sheryl, you said basically, now I lost it. Hold on, I'm gonna get it back. Right. Now, you said, why did they do it? Because they didn't have the skill set to survive in this new land without it. So everybody that walks around and I'm not trying to incite any kind of race war, but I'm trying to put in your mindset, Black people, how powerful and how important and how feared you are. Because white people could not survive here on their own without the assistance of others, and we were the others because they did not know how to do it. They didn't know how to do it.
And when they had to stop us from doing it, that's why they caused so much strife between Black and brown people, because they purposefully went, because we were the superior artisans, we were the superior carpentry, we were the superior gardeners. And they were like, we don't want to pay them to do the work they were doing for free. So let's go down to Mexico and we're going to incentivize them to come over. Let's go to China and we'll incentivize them to come over and do the work, because everybody else seemed to be skilled.
Everybody. Except who?
I'm just saying. And in order for us not to form an alliance, they had to say, hey, because we're going to pay you low wages, you're better than these people. They don't want to work. They're you have to understand. That's why I always go back to the system. Why are we acting and moving the way we're acting and moving? And I don't even know if this is on top of the conversation of the what if.
Joe just summed it up. Put that up there. Yes, Joe, that's it in a summation. You don't try to destroy anyone inferior to you.
Exactly.
You don't try to destroy anyone who is inferior to you. There is a reason that they are so dead set in trying to keep us oppressed, because they already know that we have the ability to do everything that needs to be done without them. And it hurts me, it frustrates me, it gives me angst when I think about Black people or I meet a Black person who is not affirmed in who they are in their Blackness. It's like, do you know who you are? Do you know the skills you are innately born with? Do you know what is in your bloodline through the generations? And it goes beyond, well, we survived slavery, so we're strong. No, we were Black before slavery. We didn't just get invented when we landed in America. We had it in us in Africa. It's in us. It's in our DNA.
Yes. And it's so much in us that even I have clients that are in custody and they come and give me the most crazy. This guy made me a whole chess set. And I'm out here, you out here selling drugs? Why you not out here selling these chess sets? It's because
Right.
we're so distracted by what's going on and trying to
Right.
survive. You cannot. I was telling my pastor, I was like, I took a couple days off of work for mental health. And I just went to the beach and relaxed and talked. And I had so many thoughts and ideas and creativity. And I was like, it's because and I saw a lot of white people just out there walking and they're doing this. It's like hundreds of them. I was like, they ain't got to work. But when you don't have to survive, when you're not in a constant mental and physical state of survival, which is a PTS, which is a trigger mechanism, your body is able to calm down. Your spirit is able to calm down. You're able to reconnect with God and the universe or whatever you want to call it and download and program and get ideas and things like that. So when you force people to survive their entire life, they're making quick judgmental decisions that are not, good for who they are, their generation. But even putting somebody in jail, which is not a good place to be, but because this person was in jail and had nothing but time, all this greatness is coming out. I have people who don't read nothing on the street. They go to jail. They're reading $1,000-page books.
Right.
It's because they're not trying to survive outside. And I'm not saying jail is a good place. I'm not saying it. Nobody needs to be in cages. But what I'm saying is there's something that happens to your brain and your physical ability to produce when you're in so much stress that all you're doing is surviving. And
I think that, I like what JT Devereaux said over on YouTube. If you ain't subscribed to YouTube, y'all make sure to do so. YouTube.com, Donta Morrison. JT said that has not helped us as of yet. All this history. So basically all that we know or all that we're trying to share, and what's going on and what are we doing as a collective people now amongst one another and the world. JT, that is a phenomenal point. And I think the situation that I'm always finding myself in is that I'm trying to muster everybody to the table to have these conversations because there's still so much unknown about our history, not only as Africans, but as African Americans. There's so much missing stuff, and we're trying to fill in these holes, stuff that has been omitted from history books, stuff that we have not passed down to our kids, stuff that a lot of adults don't know about just being Black in America. And I think we have to get to a place where we start shunning all the distractions, because there's a lot of distractions that hit us every single day. There is something that distracts Black people from really focusing on our Blackness and the power of being Black. We got to begin to shun those distractions and then start having these critical conversations like myself and Sheryl are trying to have on tonight to really elevate the consciousness. Not saying we got to get woke and become hoteps and all that, but really just have intimate conversations with our own, to uplift our own and to affirm our own, and to take people out of that mindset of trying to be equal to white people in a white supremacist structure and realize we have our own standalone abilities, and that's really all we need.
And I think when you change your mind and you have knowledge, then your conversations change. Like, people know that they can't have conversations around me. Like, you can't talk to me about Black on Black crime because that doesn't exist.
Right.
You can't have certain conversations around me because they know that I'm going to challenge those assumptions and we're going to have to do something different. Your language has to be different. Right. So when your language is different and your thought process is different, then your actions are different. And when your actions are different, they influence your household. So your whole household walks different. And then when your household walks different, everywhere they go, they influence someone else. So everybody wants a quick fix. We know there is no quick fix. We're going to have this conversation over and over again. But the question is when we have these conversations, what is the conversation you're going to have tomorrow? Are you still talking about Will and Jada? Are you still talking about Anthony Anderson and his wife? Are you still talking about the next Housewives of Atlanta? Are you still doing the same talking points that everybody wants you to talk? Or are you saying stop? I think that that's a wrong assumption. My understanding is this. Let's talk about it from this point of view and change the conversation. Because if we don't start changing the conversation, they're going to keep dictating how we see ourselves and each other. And that's why we can kill each other without remorse, because we don't love each other. We don't love ourselves. We can't love ourselves if we don't know ourselves.
And I think
we can't know ourselves if we don't know who God made us to be. And it's not what the white people have told you who you are. Anyway,
that's important. That's important. And Renee Louise said, please clarify black on black crime. So black on black crime doesn't exist. There's no such thing as black on black crime, but it's something that's always shaped in the media and the way they teach it and present it. Oh my God, black on black crime. Why is it black on black crime? Because it's a black person against another black person in the black neighborhood. Well, who else they gonna go against? It's a black community, so it's all about demographic and how they paint the picture.
Yeah, it's a crime of opportunity and demographics. White people kill or commit crime against white people 85% of the time. They never say white on white crime. A white person kill 100 white people and they will never utter the phrase. Asians kill mostly Asians. Hispanics or Latinos kill mostly Latinos. And Black people kill mostly Black people because that's where you live. So they say black on black crime. So when Black people die, people just look at it as those are animals.
Right.
They deserve to die. Because they don't say Latino on Latino crime. They don't say Asian on Asian crime. And they never say whites on white crime. No. So you know that that's a trigger to identify you as something that's not human. And therefore your life does not matter. So that's why it's important to cut that conversation off. I don't let nobody say black on black crime against me, around me. And they get mad too. I don't care.
So Sheryl, listen, it's 9:01.
I know.
You and I can keep going. We can, you talk about black. You done woke me up. You done stirred up my gift. But we gotta wrap it up. I
want to know what the other questions were.
Yeah, I know. So listen, we're gonna do a part 2. Let's do a part 2. You down for part 2?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll do a part 2. I'll have Kwame, our Pyro, reach out to you to see your availability. We'll get a part 2 going. Y'all, thank y'all for watching tonight's episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You feel more black. You feel more empowered. You feel more fist raised. You feel all that kind of good stuff. And you know that we're in this together because we are Black people for a Black cause, for a Black mission, about Black community and all that kind of stuff. So, that wraps up this week's round of the Donta Show. We're back next Monday. No, I'm back on Thursday for my Conversations with Clergy. If you have not watched Conversations with Clergy, please make sure to do so, or just watch the recap. It's good conversations with me and Black clergy talking about HIV, COVID vaccines, and all that kind of good stuff. So that concludes our episode for tonight, and we will see you next. We'll see you this Thursday and then next Monday for the Donta Show. Dana's back on Mondays. All right, so take care. God bless. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace out.